Hello, welcome back to the channel. A bit of a switch up today. We're going to be looking at the NFL this time. And for me, it's going to be the top 10 rookies that you should be looking at for fantasy football. Now, obviously, these will all be offensive players because we're not really worried about the defense when it comes to the rookies. But some rookies will be having a big impact on their defense. Obviously, Will Anderson will be doing his thing over in Houston. But looking at guys, it all starts and ends with Bijan Robinson. Probably the number one pick in any dynasty league. He is going to get the ball so many times. I mean, Tyler Algier came out of nowhere. Great player. Had 1,000 yards rushing. Cordell Patterson, converted receiver, kick return specialist. Had a lot of reps down there at running back and got a lot in Arthur Smith's system that he designed so well. Up in Tennessee for Derrick Henry, a.k.a. King Henry. But now you got Bijan coming in. Not only is he a good rushing threat, he's a good pass-catching threat. And with a weaker quarterback in either Taylor Heineke or Desmond Ridder, having a guy that's going to be catching the ball like that and dump-offs is going to be huge. Any PPR league, this guy is probably 1-1 for dynasties off the board for rookies and might even be legitimately a first-round pick of all players, let alone rookies. The next guy up there will be a running back, the first of two Lions. We'll probably do those two back-to-back so I can kind of talk with them together. We have Sam LaPorta and Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs was probably the stunning pick of the first round, him going 12th overall to the Lions. Everyone was like, wait, another running back went in the first round? Wait, another running back went in the top 12? That's crazy, right? Not so much, because I think Jahmyr Gibbs is more of an offensive weapon. I think running back is a limited term. With Jameson Williams being unrightfully suspended for the first few games of the season, I think he's going to get a lot of looks, even as maybe a receiver, technically speaking, but he'll be listed as a running back. So the value of having a pass-catching running back is so high in fantasy league, especially in PPR. If he's your second running back somehow, if you can like carry a guy in and have him be your second running back, you're in for a great year, because I think he'll be able to run the ball sometimes, but he'll be more of a pass-catching guy out of the backfield, and maybe not even out of the backfield. We saw what he did at Georgia Tech, where he was a Swiss Army knife, returning kicks, being a receiver, and even at Bama last year, he was probably their best option in terms of receiver, as crazy as it is of him being a running back. So I think we'll get a lot of that with Ben Johnson, him doing stuff out of the backfield, quick slants, out of the slot, motioned out of the backfield, and even two running back sets with him and Montgomery. I think that he has an opportunity to be an offensive rookie of the year conversation. I think it'll be tough for Bryce Young or Bijan to be upset out of that award, which is probably between one of those two, but he definitely will be in the conversation. And when you think of the Lions, I'm obviously a Lions fan. I know a bit more about the team than I'm sure people that don't follow them as much, rightfully so, because it's the Lions. But they'll be good this year, so maybe I'll take that back, looking back on it. But Sam LaPorta is going to be a great tight end. Iowa tight ends, right? It's one of the easy things. Ohio State receivers, Oklahoma/USC now, Lincoln Riley, really. Quarterbacks, really all do well. So an Iowa tight end in a system that uses tight ends so well is great. The Zylstra twins were some of the darlings in the Hard Knocks series last year for the Lions. But now you got a legit guy taking a lot of capital, a high second-round pick. He's going to be put right into the offense. He'll be tight end one from the day he steps on foot there, filling T.J. Hawkinson's role from earlier in the season before he got traded away. And I think this guy's going to get a lot of looks here, a lot of red zone looks, a lot of play action. And with Jameson Williams being suspended, we're definitely going to see a lot coming forward here. And I think that we're going to get a lot of looks from Sam LaPorta, and that he'll be getting some of those passes because Ben Johnson, again, schemes them all open. So two Lions pretty high up on my board. The first and only quarterback on this list, sorry for the spoilers, is the GOAT himself, Anthony Richardson. Now, he's going to be raw, and he might not start immediately, but it's going to be maybe a Justin Fields situation last year where he's going to be one of the top guys in free agency. If your quarterback gets hurt and gets injured early in the year, this could be your saving grace and get you back in the good graces of the fantasy standings. He's going to be a good running threat, maybe a little read option with him and Jonathan Taylor, that great offensive line, some good receivers. They added to it with Josh Downs. They've got a lot of really athletic tight ends. They've got Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce, a really good 1-2 young punch. And he's going to be in Shane Steichen's system. Obviously, Shane Steichen will still probably be making some play calls and having his hands all over the offense, despite him being the head coach. That system helped make Jalen Hurts into a borderline bust by some last year after his performance in the playoffs 2 years ago and questionable play into an MVP candidate and a Super Bowl runner-up. So now he's got a more talented, faster, stronger, taller, younger guy in Anthony Richardson who's way more athletic. It's going to be crazy to see where this can go. I think the sky is the limit. There's obviously a high bust potential with any pick, let alone a hyper-athletic quarterback that was pretty raw coming out of college and couldn't hit some out routes. But With his work ethic and what we've seen with him staying late, cleaning up some of the extra things, being a total great guy, totally dedicating himself to the game, I think we're going to see a lot of Anthony Richardson. And a lot of people like me that were on him early will be rightfully saying that he's going to be one of the future guys going forward. Up next, we've got a receiver helping out. Lamar Jackson slide back into hopefully the starting role and hopefully having not as many games out. Zay Flowers, one of the better weapons he's going to be having. Obviously, Odell Beckham Jr. is there as well, but Zay Flowers is going to be helping that. I know Rashad Bateman got activated off the PUP list, and he's probably going to work his way back into being wide receiver 2. But I think Zay Flowers will still be getting a lot of looks as either a wide receiver 3 or maybe even a 2 as we see Bateman slowly get reintegrated back into the offense. Now, when you think of the Ravens, obviously it's a run-first team, clearly. But Lamar loves to throw the ball a little bit too. Some deep routes if you get Zay Flowers open. Guys pretty quick. Little Tyreek killing him is what people are saying. I don't really see it as much, but it's a good option, and we're obviously limited with in terms of rookies here, but I think he's going to be a guy that you'll think of him as a first-round pick, but I think he could be a nice wide receiver 3 and a flex in some bye weeks, a guy that you can get off the waivers later in the year and really impact your team down the stretch. Up next, the 7th guy on my list here, you've got Jordan Addison, the receiver out of Pitt/USC, Blitnikoff Award winner in college, and then transferred over to USC in Lincoln Riley's system with Caleb Williams. If he's as fast on the field as he is off with his car, where he was going like almost 100 miles per hour over the speed limit, as crazy as it is, thankfully he's safe. I believe no suspensions are coming from that, maybe something internally, but it probably won't affect his play on the field. He's going to be the second option now that Adam Thielen is gone and a few other overturns on that offense. No Dalvin Cook. They're probably going to throw the ball a bit more than they were last year, and I believe that Jordan Addison will be a major benefit of that. I know they've got TJ Hawkins and some other receivers, but I think Jordan Addison is going to slot himself in as wide receiver 2 on this team and be getting a lot of looks. Obviously, we know this is Justin Jefferson's team, and when you think of the Vikings, you now think of Justin Jefferson and his gritties, and hopefully Jordan Addison will be getting on that. If he's on your fantasy team, he'll be getting on that gritty action as they'll be trying to shut him down, leaving a worse defender on Jordan Addison, hopefully allowing him to succeed. The next guy on the list here, Quentin Johnston. He is a big-bodied wide receiver out of TCU. Of course, had that great long run against Michigan that ripped my heart out. But he is a Charger now. We saw Kellen Moore go over there, and they're going to probably throw the ball even more than they already were, especially with them not wanting to pay Austin Eckler. I think it's going to be a big thing that they're going to be doing. And I think he's going to be a big beneficiary. We've seen that their wide receiver core is made of glass, unfortunately. Gerald Everett's always hurt. I know he's a tight end, but he's more of a receiving tight end. You've got Mike Williams, who's always hurt. You've got Keenan Allen, who's really getting old. So I think it's going to be a good option for him. I know Josh Palmer had a lot of reps last year with how injured that core was, but now you bring in a big-bodied athletic receiver in Quentin Johnston, and he could really, really, really see it going. I know he's a bit raw coming out of college, despite it being a few seasons, but I think that if he gets in a good system with Justin Herbert and gets some good chemistry going, he could be one of the sneaky rookies of the year. Speaking of a sneaky rookie of the year, Jaden Reed, wide receiver for the Packers out of Michigan State. Obviously, Michigan State really didn't do much on the field this year in terms of offense, but he was a very good receiver. He had a crazy combine, despite having some crazy eye infection in his eye. He couldn't see out of one eye, but he had really good routes, was able to catch the ball with one eye, which is crazy. I couldn't imagine, like when you cover your eye and for me right now, the camera is moving all side to side because you're covering one eye, let alone catching a football at that speed. Unbelievable stuff. Now that he's out of East Lansing, I can talk about how good he is. So I think he's going to be really good for the Packers. Probably a wide receiver 2, maybe a 3 behind Watson and Dobbs. Obviously, we saw a mass exodus of skill position players along with Aaron Rodgers to the Jets with Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard leaving. And I believe Tonyan went to the Bears. But we're going to have 2 tight ends there as well. So you can kind of have 3 guys within one here. But you've got Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave also going to be some good looks for tight ends there. But Jaden Reed will be getting a lot of catches and could be this year's Christian Watson. We'll see who gets the best chemistry with Jordan Love, and whoever does will be benefiting a lot because there's a lot of passes to go around now that Devontae Adams has gone 2 years away and Allen Lazard is now gone as well. So a lot of balls to go around, but I think Christian Watson is a sneaky, really, really, really strong guy in my board. Now Love is not nearly the quarterback and probably not even half the quarterback that Aaron Rodgers is, but Christian Watson's a damn good player. But it's not about him. And then our final guy here, Jonathan Mingo, the big-bodied receiver out of Ole Miss, a rookie, receiver with a rookie quarterback, both coming in. Hopefully they can get some good chemistry between them. I know we've got some pretty good receivers over in Carolina sneaky. They got Adam Thielen, Laviska Shenault, and Terrence Marshall in addition to Mingo, but I think Mingo is going to quickly fly up that board there. I could see him being a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, but Laviska Shenault's going to be good. Adam Thielen's getting a little old, but a good veteran presence to help Mingo out. And I think Mingo could, sneaky become a wide receiver 1 with the absence of DJ Moore now. So Bryce Young's going to come in. We've seen that he loves to throw the ball, and we'll see how that goes if the rest of the team's going to get away from as much as the run the ball that they were last season. Now they've invested pretty heavily, trading up to go get their guy in Bryce Young. So that's pretty much all I have for now for the rookies. I'll probably do a video soon on my favorite sleeper on every NFL team. We'll have to go quick, so it's not a super long video, but thank you all for watching. Hopefully some of the new wave of subscribers we've gotten recently, we've got some NFL fans along with college fans in here. You guys stick around and, experience both sides of football, and hope you guys like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.